I try to relate stuff to stuff. I don't know. Stuff to stuff. All right. So YouTube is up, but my chat is still acting crazy. I don't know. Do I still offer tutoring? Of course I do. I don't tutor about 2 folks a day. So if you go on my website, um, ablessedrn.com. So there are 2 things I want to point out, that I do have private tutoring that's available. But my books aren't open because, like I said, life is life and right now. But I'm still trying to help y'all out if you want it. Of course, I do my lives twice a week to on Sunday night, Study Buddy Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, and then Wednesday, Work It Out Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central Time. So we do the live sessions here, but if you want a little bit more private tutoring situation that's more personalized and focused on what you're going on, I will do that for you. So you can send me an email, which is on my website, or you can send me a direct message on here or on any of my socials. My name is the same across the board, a blessed RN, except for Instagram. It's a.blessed.rn. Yeah. So, and then that website, right, that address right there, it's going to take you to the resource tabs. So all of the practice questions that I upload, there is a cheat sheet with your conversions on it. There is a step-by-step guide showing you how to break it down, how we go over it, because I push dimensional analysis. I don't exclude desired over half or ratio proportion, because to be honest and truthful, I didn't use dimensional analysis when I was in nursing school. I found it long and tedious and confusing. I didn't know where to put the one, what goes on top, what do you start with. If anybody else has felt like that, put a 1 in the chat. But when I started doing this and helping students, and I broke it down, and I found, that, hey, there's a way that you can do dimensional analysis and make it easy, and you can do it the same way for every single problem. And I was like, whoa, this is really cool. And then for people who aren't strong in math, because a lot of people say, I'm not good at math. Well, you don't have to do a whole lot of math with dimensional analysis. All we're going to do is set up our puzzle pieces, cancel out what's on the top and what's on the bottom, and then make it match our goal. And the only math that you have to do is multiplication and division, which your handy dandy calculator can do that. And see, my calculator is nothing spectacular. Well, it is spectacular because I like pink and bubbly, and it's clicky clacky, but no special scientific calculator needed. So if you don't have calculators that are allowed in your program, you don't have to have a special calculator. You can use the one that's available to you on the computer when you have HESI or ATI or however you test to pass your dosage calculations. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that we're still good on YouTube, and yes, I am streaming live on YouTube. So once this is done, then the replay will be immediately available. So if you missed one part or wasn't sure about it and you want to see it again, then feel free. So if you're not following me on YouTube, go over there, subscribe, like something, share something. And we're going to get started. Yeah, as soon as I find my Apple Pencil, and we'll connect the iPad. Y'all doing all right? How's the school going so far? Are we nervous? Are we excited? Well, how you feeling? Because I'm excited for y'all. I promise you I am. It's just, it's like, what's going on? How do you feel? I know when I got that letter in the mail, I didn't know what to expect, because I went to LPN school first, and I thought it was going to be easier because it was shorter. Oh my gosh, did I get a wake up call? Mimi, now you know the rules here. We do not say afraid, we don't say fear, we don't say scared. You got to go out the classroom and come right back in. You start tomorrow. Everybody starting tomorrow, okay? On the 26th. Orientation. Y'all got y'all first day of school outfits ready? Oh, I'm out this semester. So, okay, that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes we have to take a break. Not our time, but God's time, right? Starting back up after the 26th, after having your baby, Nick. Oh, you got a little shooky bookie dookie boppers. They say, congratulations. They say LPN is way harder. Was my LPN program harder than my RN? I mean, nursing school in general is hard. So I don't know if I would say that LPN was hard. I think it was like having the mindset of it, like, because you go into it, and nursing is definitely not what they make it seem, like it's its own science, like literally. So I think that was hard, trying to get like the ADPI and the hierarchy of needs and the safety and priority and all of that. But if you bridge from LPN to RN, it's easier because you're accustomed to it. So I guess you can say in that aspect, LPN was harder than RN. But shoot, I completed a whole program and had to start all the way back over at health assessment, fundamentals, and pharmacology. So we're not going to talk about that. So I say I'm fighting for my life in the PN program. Yeah, I know. I bet you are. Just keep fighting, sis. Keep fighting. Nervous. I have math dosage tomorrow, and you need a 92. All right, cool. We can do that. We can do that. Let's see. Whoa, buddy. We're not gonna cut up for the folks, are we? All right. So since this is a Peds night, I'm gonna focus more on Peds type of calculations, conversions, etc. I do perform my or solve my problems using dimensional analysis. If you have a question or want to see it another way, just put it in the comments. It's hard for me and I haven't even started. Speaking to others makes you nervous. Well, that's okay. You could be nervous, but you have to form your own experiences too. When people tell you things, you have to kind of take it like, okay, well, you're saying this, but still, make your own opinion about it. Hey. All right, so if you got a problem and you got a baby like Neat, congratulations. And hey, be cool, I see you. And thank you, Mel Jazzy, for the gifts. So if you say something and I miss it, or you send a gift and I miss it, please charge it to my head and not my heart. I got this huge screen and I've got math problems. So y'all help each other out in the comments too, in the meanwhile. And I'm going to try my best to keep up with everything, okay? All right, so if you got a baby who's 14 pounds and 10 ounces and you need to convert the weight to kilograms, you can't do that, right? It's got to be pounds to kilograms because we know that 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. So we need to make all of the weight pounds. Okay, so we'll convert our ounces to pounds, add our pounds together, and then we can convert those pounds to kilograms. Okay. All right, so what are our conversions? We know that 1 pound is 16 ounces. And then we also know that 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. So the first thing I want to do is change this to pounds. Okay. So my goal is pounds. I'm going to start with what I'm looking for. Okay. So dimensional analysis. I mentioned that it's kind of weird or difficult at first if you don't know what you're doing, right? So what we'll do is solve it like puzzles. All right. So if you ever had a favorite puzzle, mine was Beauty and the Beast when I grew up. It came in a box and it had a picture on there. And that picture was what your puzzle was supposed to look like once it got done. So this is our picture. This is our goal. This is what we want the equation to look like once we get done crossing out our units. Okay. So our conversions, we're going to call those puzzle pieces. So they're going to fit each other and they're going to cross out your units on the bottom and on the top, except for what it is that you're looking for. So everything has to cross out except for pounds. Okay. So if I'm looking for pounds, that's what I'm going to start with. I always start with what I'm looking for on every single problem. Okay. If you start with what you're looking for, you don't have to go and find it. Okay. So I'm looking for pounds. So this is my puzzle piece right here, because I'm going from pounds to ounces. So I know that 1 pound is 16 ounces. Okay. So then I have 10 ounces right here. And I'm going to put it over 1 because it's not in a relation to anything, and it's just by itself. And when I mean a relation to anything, I mean like if it equals to something, if it's the same. Like 1 day is 24 hours. 1 hour is 60 minutes. 1 minute is 60 seconds. Things like that, okay? Or your conversions, like 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. They're married. They stay together. They're always going to equal each other, okay? So you see that ounces was on the top and ounces was on the bottom, so they cross out. So the only thing that's left are my pounds. So then we'll do the division, which is the top divided by the bottom, because 10 times 1 is 10. 16 times 1 is 16. So 10 divided by 16 is going to be 0.625 pounds. Okay, so now that we have pounds, we combine the like terms. So we are going to add our 14 pounds to this. Okay, so our new weight is going to be 14.625 pounds. Okay, so now that we have pounds, we can go from pounds to kilograms because we have our conversion right here. So if my goal is kgs, I'm going to start with what I'm looking for. So I'm going to put it first, and I'm going to make sure it's on the top, and everything else has to cross out. So I'll do 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. So now I'll put my new weight that I've got, my 14.625 pounds, and it's not with anything, it's just itself. Anything over 1 is going to equal itself. All right. So this is like a placeholder showing you that it's at that top number, right? It's not on the bottom. So it's that top line of numbers. So your pounds cross out and you'll do the math. So 14.625 divided by 2.2. So our weight is 6.64 numbers. All right. So if we were asked to round to the 10th place, what would our answer be? So much to have a dosage calc, clinical competency coming, need a 90 to pass. Okay, we're going to get that. We're going to get that. It's hard for me, and I haven't even started. Speaking to others makes me nervous. I've seen that. I'm fighting for my life. BSA, yes, be cool. Body surface area. You'll see that in just a second. Drip rates. Do I have a drip rate in here? I might have one. I haven't been able to join due to surgery. Oh, Grace, Faith, Hope, I hope that you are healing miraculously and fully. I am on Sundays and Wednesdays, and then you can watch the replays on the YouTube channel. All right, so if you said 6.6, that would be the answer. So here are the rounding rules, okay? So if we are rounded to the 10th place, we want to go to the 10th place, and then we want to go 1 decimal place to the right. So that's this place right here called the 100th, right? So if that number right there is 4 and below, it's a no-go. That means that number in the 10th place is not going to change, and the rest of it falls off. If it was 5 or more, you raise the score and you increase it by 1. So since this number is a 4, it's a no-go. So it's gone. So our answer would be 6.6 kg. Okay? How y'all feel about that? We just warming up. Hey, chocolate almonds. Good evening. You're welcome, Grace, Faith, Hope. Good. All right. Okay. All right, so this is BSA, body surface area. We'll have some more practice neat. So body surface area, this is one of those kind of situations that you can't get out of a formula, because body surface area, BSA, is measured in meters squared. So there are two formulas that you can use. So it would be meters squared equals the square root of the height in centimeters times the weight in kgs divided by 3600. And then it will also be the square root of the height in inches times the weight in pounds divided by 3131. So you can use either your metric conversions or you can use your US measures. So which one do y'all want to do? You pick. I'll let you pick. She said mine is blown. I see one for metric, one for US, inches and pounds, 2 inches and pounds, inches and pounds. All right, so I guess I'll show you both ways. This is so foreign. It's okay. It's all right. I'm a translator, so we're going to do it. All right, so this is BSA, right? So if let's do inches and pounds first. So if we have our inches, it's going to be 42 inches. So you've already got it, times your pounds, which is 55, divided by 3131. And the way that you would enter the the formula into the calculator, y'all are so funny. And you might not do it. Some programs don't require that you do BSA. I just give y'all what y'all show me, okay? You don't know this yet. It's cool. So you'll have it to reference back, right? So if you were to do this in the calculator, you do 42 times 55 divided by 3131 equals. And then you hit the square root button. And that's going to be meters squared equals 0.8589. All right, so if we were to round this to the nearest hundredths place, what would be our answer? You're welcome. Okay, so if this is the hundredths place, can you show us meter square root look like? Are you talking about the button on the calculator? So if this is the hundredths place, we'll go to the right. That is 5 or more, so you raise the score by 1. So it'll be 0.86 meters squared. Okay. So the square root button, it's this right here. Okay, so if you were to do this with using your metric conversions, that means you would have to use that first formula, right? So you would have to convert your inches to centimeters and then your weight to pounds. So if we wanted to convert inches to centimeters, we would have to know the conversions. Wondering where you got your calculator? I tried to find it. It's linked in my Amazon storefront. That's in my bio. Yeah, and I think they have different colors too. All right. So if we are going from inches to centimeters, right? So we're looking for centimeters. We know that sorry. 1 inch is going to be 2.54 centimeters, right? So then we have 42 inches over 1. Your inches crossed out. So 2.54 times 42 equals 106.68 centimeters. And then we will also need to convert the weight. So our weight needs to be kgs, right? So if I'm looking for kgs, I start with kgs. 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. Our patient weighs 55 pounds. Forgot the L. Over 1 pounds crosses out. 55 divided by 2.2 is going to be 25 kgs. So then we'll put it into our formula. All right. So meters squared equals your 106.68 centimeters times your 25 kilograms. And it's going to go over my head. Divided by 3,600. So you'll do 106.68 times 25 divided by 3,600 equals square root. And you see you still got the same thing, 0.86. So either way it works. It just depends on the preference that you have for either converting it or using the US measure. So let's do some dosage count now. All right. The physician orders Lanoxin elixir daily. The adult dose of Lanoxin is 0.25 milligrams per day. The available medicine is Lanoxin Pediatric elixir, 0.05 milligrams per milliliter. What is the daily dose strength of milligrams of Lanoxin for a child who weighs 18 pounds and is 20 inches long? So what we just learned, we're going to put into play, okay? Because we have a formula to find out what's the Peds dose if you have a height, a weight, and then an average adult dose, okay? So we need to find the Peds meter squared over the adult meter squared. And this is a constant. All right. So it's 1.7. All right. It's always going to be 1.7. I don't know who came up with it, but that's what it is. Okay. Times your average adult dose. So what we're going to do is find the BSA, okay? And then we'll put the Peds BSA over 1.7 and then multiply it times that adult dose, which is 0.25 milligrams per day. So the fluff that is in here is not going to be the adult dose, right? Because we are looking for milligrams. The fluff that's in here is going to be this, because is this asking us to find a milliliter? Is it asking us how much of the medicine or the volume of the medicine that we're going to give? It just wants to know the strength of it. So we don't even need this for this one, okay? All right, so let's do our meter square. And they already have it pounds and inches, so I'm not going to do any extra converting. I'm just going to go ahead and use my other formula that has the US measurement. So square root of the pounds times my 20 inches divided by 31. So 18 times 20 divided by 31 equals square root. So my meter squared is going to be 0.34. Okay. Why are we using meter squared? Because that is what body surface area is measured as. So anything, I remember in math, if you have like the square root and then you unsquare root it, you have to like unsquare root it. You have to square it, right? So that's why it's measured in meter squared. I don't know. Why are we not using the dose on hand? Because what is the dose on hand? We are figuring out the dose. So what we have is we have an adult dose, okay, that we know is this. We are trying to find out how much a pediatric dose would be. And you can figure that out by using this formula. So you have this constant, that's the adult BSA that you always have to use. And then you have to find the Peds BSA, which is going to be this right here. And then you multiply it by average adult dose. When do we start talking about meters squared? Some people don't even, but I wanted this to be an all-inclusive PED session. We're about to get into safe dose and stuff, so just hold tight. And just remember, y'all can look at the replay that's on the YouTube channel. So if you were asking about where can I find these, can I print it out, can I screenshot it, if you go to my YouTube channel, A Blessed RN, we are live streaming right now. So you can either look at it on TikTok or you can look at it on YouTube. And once we get done studying, because you know I pray over all my lives, if you don't want to stay for it, it's fine. I don't get offended. But you know, after we get done studying, we get to chit chatting a little bit. So I cut it off and it's available for the replay. Okay. Yeah. All right. So boom, we'll do our 0.34 over 1.7. And then the average adult dose is going to be 0.25 milligrams. Okay. So this is meter squared, meter squared. Remember, what's on top and what's on the bottom crosses out. Boom, boom. Okay. So then this is going to give us how many milligrams. All right. So we'll do 0.34 times 0.25 divided by 1.7. And that's going to give us 0.05 milligrams in a day. Okay. This is something my school will have on the first day. No, they don't try to set you up like that. Yes. Omarcito. All right. Dosage calculations. We love it. So if you want to look at that one again, remember, you can watch it on the replay. All right. Boom. So provider has ordered amoxicillin 50 milligrams per kilogram to a child weighing 68 pounds. I know we've all probably had amoxicillin unless you got an allergy, right? So available from the pharmacy is amoxicillin 250 milligrams per 2 ml. Hold on, I gotta fix my contact. How many mLs should the nurse administer per dose? All right. So what is our goal? What is the question asking us to find? Okay. Yeah, that came out. So if you said milliliter per dose, you're absolutely right, because we want all of it, nothing more and nothing less. So this is asking how many milliliters per dose, because they can ask milliliter per day, milliliter per hour, milliliter per minute, just plain milliliter. But this one is asking milliliter per dose. So that makes the biggest difference in these problems, okay? You bring my contact case. I lost it with some solution. I'm throwing up the bat signal because I lost my contact. All right. We must go on. All right. So that's our goal. ml on the top and dose on the bottom. So remember, this is what my puzzle piece needs to look like. This is what my finished puzzle needs to look like. Everything else is crossed out on the top and on the bottom, except for milliliters on the top and dose on the bottom. So here, what do I have ordered? Is 50 milligrams per kilogram. Okay. And look, I'm going to tell you about a dose goes. So if you have something like this, where it's how many milligrams per kilogram of body weight, and it doesn't indicate per minute, per hour, per day, guess what it is? That is one dose. This is dosage calculations, right? So there is an invisible ghost. I call it a ghost dose, a dose ghost, whatever. You know what I'm saying. All right. So that means that your dose is going to be on the bottom of that. All right. So then the patient's weight is 68 pounds. And then we have available 250 milligrams per 2 milliliters. All right, so this is how I set up my dimensional analysis problems. I always start with what it is that I am looking for. That means I am looking for milliliters. So I need the puzzle piece with the milliliters in it. I'm going to put my milliliters on the top and I'm going to put it first. So if you ever done a puzzle and it fell out the box, those pieces don't land perfectly, do they? But you pick it up and you make it fit to where it needs to fit. You can do the same thing with these puzzle pieces. Just because my milliliters are on the bottom doesn't mean that I can't flip this and put it on the top. It's still going to be the same thing because they equal each other. Okay. So now you may ask, Nurse C, do I have to start with what I'm looking for? You ain't got to do nothing but stay whatever ethnicity you are and pass away. But it will greatly help. And if you are lost when it comes to dimensional analysis on where to start with what you're looking for. Okay. All right. So now we've got milligrams on the bottom. So I need milligrams on the top. 50 mgs over kg / dose, because this is my puzzle piece that has milligrams. I'm trying to get everything to cross out except for milliliter on the top and dose on the bottom. So I've already got my milliliters and I've already got my dose now. And so the only thing that I need to get rid of are my kilograms. So I have a puzzle piece that has pounds in it, but not kilograms. So therefore I need to put in a conversion. So in order to get rid of my kilograms on the bottom, I'll say 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. Kilograms crosses out, and now I can put my weight, which is going to be 68 pounds, and I'll put it over 1 because it's just Lone Wolf is living single, Khadijah, Regine is by itself, right? Boom, boom. Now you see how all of my units have crossed out on the top and on the bottom except for milliliter on the top and dose on the bottom. And that's how you're going to set up every single problem using dimensional analysis and solving puzzles. So now we can pull out a calculator and do some math, okay? And I'm going to show you the calculator trick. So when you get to these problems, which is called weight-based, right? And some of them can get really, really long and have a lot of zeros in it. So my philosophy, again, if you've been here before, you say the same thing every time. Well, I want you to get it. And I want you to hear me when you're taking these tests, okay? So the more steps you take, the more mistakes you make. You will notice on my lives, I do not convert stuff prematurely before I put them in the equation. I don't touch a weight and convert it. I don't touch a microgram or a milligram and convert it. That is an extra step. At the end of the day, the math is going to math once you set it up right, okay? So I'm going to put my numbers in the calculator and I'm going to not write it down, because what if I write down a 0 and don't put it in the calculator? You would have taken your time and done this the right way and then missed it because of a calculator error or a human error. And that's not to say that you won't put it in right, but sometimes I enter it 2 to 3 times to make sure I got the same thing, you know? So I'll put in all of my numbers across the top and I'll hit multiply in between. Once I get to the end of the line, I'm going to hit divide. And then I'm put in all of my numbers on the bottom and I'm going to hit divide in between. And then I'm going to hit the equal sign 1 time. All right. So it'll be 2 times 50 times 68 divide 250 divide 2.2. I don't enter the ones because they don't make a difference. Equals. And I got 12.36. Yay. My contact came out. Thank you. Ah!
Sorry, did you drop it?
No, it's still in my hand. Okay, thank you. You saved the day.
Okay.
Yeah. You always saving the day, ain't it? All right. So where were we? We got 2.36. So if we were to round this to the nearest whole number, what would our answer be? I'm just asking. I know a lot of Peds questions, they want you to round to the tenths or the hundreds, but we're just practicing rounding, okay? Charlie says, we don't round in my program. Okay, then. Goddess, I love the way you teach. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad it's making sense. Is it making sense, y'all? Is it making sense? So yes, if we were to round this to the nearest whole number, it would be 12. If we were to round this to the nearest tenths place, like you would usually see in Peds questions, it would be 12.4. So, and then you always want to put milliliter per dose. This is important because people are petty and they count off because the units are really important in your problems. So if you're doing dimensional analysis or any type of dosage calculations and you're just writing out numbers, you're doing yourself a disservice, because the units are where the juice is. The units are where the sauce is. So if you are trying to cross out units on top and on bottom and you don't have the units written out, then how do you know what to cross out? How do you know what's coming up next? Write your units by your number and when you get the answer, okay? All right. Would they count it all wrong or a portion? I seen where they counted it all wrong. Yeah. Yeah. So don't let that be you. All right. The doctor orders 650 milligrams of drug A every 4 hours. The child weighs 95 pounds. Oh, here's the safe dose, right? The safe dose range for this medicine is 5 to 10 milligrams per kilogram per dose. What is the safe dose range per day? Did it give us per day? No, it didn't. Per dose. What is the safe dose range per day? Did it give us per day? No, it didn't. It did crash. Hello, hello. Are we on? Are we on? Are we back? No. No. We're back. We're here. We're back. Okay, you can hear me. All right. We skipped that question. Because, see, that was me. See, it's hard trying to come up with stuff. And I'm like, you know what? That ain't make sense. Let's go to this next one. All right. We back. We back. All right. They always trying to hate on our love. We skipping. Yeah. All right. So boom. The provider has ordered drug B, 400 milligrams every 6 hours for a patient that weighs 62 pounds. The safe dose range is 20 to 30 milligrams per kilogram per day in 4 divided doses. What is the safe dose range per dose per day, and is the ordered dose safe to administer? Okay. So we are going to be looking for how many milligrams is in the day that will be safe. So when you see these safe dose problems, okay, the first thing that you're going to pay attention to is not the order. You're going to pay attention to the safe dose range, okay? So a safe dose range is two numbers, because that's what a range is, a limit, right? Upper limit and a lower limit. And this is going to be your safe zone. So you're going to have the least amount of medicine that you can give, and then you're going to have the most amount of medicine that you can give. All right. And depending on what the question is asking you, it either asks you to find how much you can give in a day or how much you should give in a dose. This one is asking us per day. So our goal is to find how many milligrams per day would be safe. Okay, so once we find that specific safe zone, we're going to then go to the order, what the provider has ordered, and see, does it fit within that safe zone? And then once again, it's going to depend on if it's the full amount for the day or if it's per dose. So we have ordered drug B, 400 milligrams. Okay, so when you see a order, that is one dose right there. And then it's given every 6 hours. The 6 hours part is called the frequency. A frequency is how often you give a dose in a day. So if you have 24 hours in a day and you're to give this every 6 hours, that means you would take 24 divided by 6 and you would have 4 doses in one day. So when we get done finding the green zone or in the red zones, we're going to take our order and multiply it times 4 and see how much that would be for the whole day. Okay? But we're not at that point yet. We need to find the safe zone. So it's going to be 2 separate problems that you'll have to do. So you have to find the lower limit, which is going to be our 20 milligram per kilogram per day. And then our 30 milligrams. So my goal is to get milligram on the top and day on the bottom. You see, I already got that, right? Boom, boom. But I got to get rid of this. So I'll use my patient's weight, which is 62 pounds. I'm not going to touch it before I put this into my equation. More steps, more mistakes. Okay. So 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. And then we'll have 62 pounds over 1 kg crosses out. Pounds crosses out. And now you're left with your goal. Okay. So we'll do 20 times 62 divided by 2.2, and that's going to be 563.63 milligrams per day. Okay, and we'll do the same thing with the 30. So 30 milligrams per kilogram per day. So I already got milligrams on the top and day on the bottom. So I'll do my weight, which is 1 kg over 2.2 pounds. Kgs cross out. 62 pounds over 1 because it's by itself. And now you're at the goal. So multiply across the top, divide by the bottom, right? No, dosage is easier in the real world. Computer shows it, but it's still good. Yeah, especially when you part of a health system that been hijacked and crashes and you got to go back to paper. That was some miserable nursing right there. Especially like in the middle of a shift. Yeah, that was not fun times. That was not fun times. Okay. So we've done the math, right? And so therefore we know that our safe zone is going to be 563 milligrams to 845.45 milligrams. So anything that is in this part is going to be safe. Anything less than or more than is not safe. Not safe. Okay? All right. So we got our safe zone. I'm going to move myself. So our order is 400 milligrams every 6 hours. So if we take 400 milligrams and we determine that since 24 divided by 6 means that there are 4 doses. So we'll multiply that by those 4 doses in a day. You get your 1600 milligrams. So the most that we can give is this much. The least that we can give is this much. This much is ordered. Tell me, young ladies and gentlemen of America and other viewing nations, is this safe? Is it in the safe zone? Nope, 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 nope. Nelly, please forgive me if I don't see your comments. I am working with one contact now. As you see that my husband brought me my case. And the chat goes fast and I'm trying to work the problems. So where did I get 4? All right. So remember right here, 6 hours is your frequency. That's how often you give a dose in a day. So if you have 24 hours that's in a day and you divide it by every 6 hours, so 24 divided by 6 means that there are 4 doses. So that's where I got the 4 from. Does that make sense? That was me last week. Okay. Does this make sense about being a range and having what's in it safe and what's outside of it not safe? Makes sense. All right. But now I just said it the first time, not mean to say it again. That's what I was like. I'm sorry. Look, I promise you. I don't have, I have a one contact in my eye right now. Okay? One. Y'all want to do some daily fluid maintenance volume? I give you a break from safe dose. Yep. Okay, let's do it. So we know that there are formulas. Sometimes you can't get around it. All right. So for patients who are 10 kgs or less, they're going to get 100 milliliters per kg. Okay. Wait a minute. I just passed my med-surg dosage test on Wednesday with 100. Oh, shoot. Uh-oh. You know what I'm looking for. And you see I can't see, right? Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Here it is. That's what we like. Hey, that's what we like. Oh, okay. Congratulations. So, and she got a big 100, right? Yes, love it. All right. So then, if they're more than 10 kgs, right, they will get 1,000 milliliters plus 50 milliliters per kg, and that's for kgs that's over 10. So that means that you would take your weight, say it was 12.5. I'm going to show you how to do it in a minute, and you account for those remaining 2.5 kgs and you use that formula. So if they are more than 20 kgs, right? Because this is going to go from 10 to 20. So if they're more than 20, they're going to get 1,500 mLs plus 20 milliliters per kg. Okay? So if they are 23 kgs, you would do 23 minus your 20, and you would account for your 3 kgs in that other formula. Okay? All right. So what we'll do is do this one. And I'm going to show you. So our patient's weight is 12.5. So the formula that we'll use is 1,000 milliliters plus 50 milliliters per kilograms. And that's for your kgs that's over 10. So we'll take 12.5 kgs and we'll subtract 10 kgs from it. So we'll be left with 2.5 kilograms. And this is what we're going to plug into here. So if we're looking for our milliliters, we'll do 50 ml over kg times 2.5 kgs. Your kilograms cross out, and then you're left with milliliters. So 50 times 2.5 equals 125 milliliters. Then we've got to add our other milliliters. So 1,000 mLs, because remember, they automatically get that 1,000, right? And then you add it together, and this is how many milliliters per day that they would get. You never learned this in your program? Some people do. Some people do not. Like, is that something you just know? What you mean? Some people, I've seen people, they're like, okay, this was in my ATI or my HESI. Can you show me how to do it? So, I mean, sometimes they include it. Sometimes they do not. Look, y'all, what kind of specialties y'all want to go into, right? You said 100 kgs for this 15 mil. 100? Did I say 100? It's 100 milliliters per if it's less than 10 kgs. So if it's more than 10 kgs, then you subtract your 10 kilograms. If it's 10 to 20, this is the formula that you use. So 10 kgs to 20 kgs. All right. Boom. Well, more than 10, because if it's 10 or less, the formula is that. Okay, so you see how since it's more than 10, you've automatically got your 1,000, because 10 times 100 is going to be your 1,000. So that's why we subtract your 10 from here, and that's why you only use your 2.5 down here. Okay, that's why we subtracted the 10. Can I do reconstitution? I think I got something. Are these tips and tricks also in the ATIE? Are these tips and tricks in there? No, I'm one of a kind, baby. No, I'm just kidding. But you can use them for your ATI modules. But we're just going over it. So yeah, it is a formula. So some stuff you cannot get out of formulas but you still see that we use dimensional analysis. Do I have a page of them? I think I got this one loaded in my resource page, but if not, I'll check after we get done and I'll put it on there. But I have a resource page that has all of them listed. Okay, so let's do this one. This one is a patient who is 24 kgs. Okay, can you show infusion rate that we have to solve for what time it will end? Do I have that one on this one? After we get done with the pediatric stuff, I'll do it. Just remind me. Okay, because this is a Peds session. All right, so our formula is going to be 1,500 milliliters plus 20 mLs per kg. And that is per kg that's greater than your 20. So if you have 24 kilograms, we're going to subtract 20 from it. And so we'll use 4 kilograms in our problem. Okay. How did you know the formula for that one? Because that's what fluid maintenance is. I mean, it's just a formula for it. And so, boom. We'll do, our goal is to find the milliliter. Use 4 kilograms in our and and subtract it from 20. Use your kilograms that's left over in your formula and then add it to your already accounted for 1,500 milliliters. It did for a second and I paused. I saw it. They hating on our love, right? So 1,580. Can you write the formula again? They hate our love. Wanna see us. Okay. Yes. So if you've got a patient that weighs less than, right? Less than. Is that the less than sign? I get the alligators confused. Less than 10 kgs. It's going to be 100 ml per kg. If it's more than 10 kg to 20 kgs, it's going to be 1,000 mLs plus 50 milliliters per kilogram. And that's for the kilogram that is greater than 10. If it's more than 20 kilograms, it's going to be 1500 mLs plus 20 milliliters per kg. And if it's not on my resources tabs, I'll add this one because I know I have a slide with it on there, and I'll add it to the site. Okay. And this question is for more than the 20 kgs. Yes. So you would do, and that's for kgs that's greater than 20. So you'll take your 24 minus your 20, and you use your 4 kilograms in the problem. Those are kind of fun, I think. I don't know. All right. Let's do some more stuff. All right, provider orders drug C 1.5 milligrams per kilogram per day by mouth, divided equally every 12 hours to a child who weighs 44 pounds. Available is drug C oral suspension, 40 milligrams per 5 milliliters. How many milliliters should the nurse administer per dose? So what are we looking for? How many milliliters per dose? And this is a weight-based problem, right? So I didn't tell y'all my little weight-based kind of mnemonic. PPP, not the loan, but patient's prescription and your product. So I need my patient's weight, my prescription, and my product. So the goal that I'm looking for is milliliter per dose. So I want milliliter on the top and dose on the bottom. My patient weighs 44 pounds. My prescription is 1.5 milligrams per kg / dose, right? Well, / day. Sorry. So we go on to see that we give this every 12 hours. So we're going to need a puzzle piece that has dose in it, right? Because we need dose at the bottom. So 24 divided by 12 is going to be 2 doses. So in one day, there are 2 doses. All right. Then our last P is the product. So our concentration is 40 milligrams per 5 milliliter. All right, I'm going to start with what I'm looking for. So that is going to be this puzzle piece right here. I'm going to put my milliliters on the top. So I want it first and I want it at the top. I'm going to flip it. 5 ml over 40 mg. So now I've got milligrams at the bottom. I need a puzzle piece with milligrams to put at the top to cross it out. So 1.5 milligrams per kilogram / day. So milligrams crosses out. Now I've got kilogram and day at the bottom. Neither one of those are in my goal. So I'm going to keep going. So now I got kilograms, but I got a patient's weight in pounds. So 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. Kilograms crosses out. Then I'll put my patient's weight in pounds, put it over 1. Pounds crosses out, and I'm still left with day. I need dose. So I'll use this last puzzle piece right here, and I'll say 1 day has 2 doses in it. So days crosses out, and now I'm left with milliliter at the top and dose at the bottom, and that's goal. So now we can do the math finally. So we'll do 5 times 1.5 times 44 divided by 40 divided by 2.2 divided by 2. I got 1.875, and then pay attention to the rounding instructions because I don't want you to do all this hard work and get it wrong because you didn't round or you don't round right. Okay, so it'll be the nearest tenths. So this is the tenths place. I'll go 1 place to the right, and that's a 7. So if it's 5 or more, we raise the score, right? So it'll be 1.9 mLs per dose. And I see a whole bunch of 1.9s in the comments. So is this making sense? Y'all like it? If you are shaky about dimensional, is it coming together for you? Yeah. All right. slowly. Okay, that counts. This is why I didn't go into nursing. I went to ultrasound. I can never see in ultrasound. I never see. I'm like, there's like, do you see the such and such and such and such right there? No, I don't. But I'll take your word for it. The doctor had ordered drug D, 50 milligrams per kilogram per day by mouth in 3 divided doses for a patient who weighs 42 pounds. Drug D is available in a 50 milliliter bottle and is labeled with the concentration of 125 milligrams per milliliter. How many milliliters would the nurse administer per dose? So what is our goal? What are we looking for? Hearts for RN, you said no. What's getting you? Where you getting caught at? So we're looking for milliliter on the top and dose at the bottom. Okay, this is another weight-based problem. So our patient's weight is 42 pounds. Our prescription is 50 milligrams per kilogram, and that's for the whole day. But then it tells us, because we're looking for a milliliter per dose. You right, Bobby. So in divided doses, so we know that in one day there are 3 doses. So then we've got our concentration, and that is 125 milligrams per milliliter. So if I'm looking for, so we just ignored the 3 divided doses? No, we used it. We used it right here. You see it? So one day there are 3 doses. Because we need a puzzle piece with dose at the bottom, right? Because we got a puzzle piece that has day at the bottom. So we know that's got to go because it's not part of the goal. So you see how, you're welcome. You see how you use your goal to kind of get through what you need and what you have to set up? So while you're doing this, reference your goal, because sometimes you have microgram per kilogram per minute or unit per hour or unit per minute or whatever. Use your goal to guide you. And so we do have to point out that there is one thing in here that is a big old thing of fluff. All right. So this says that there's a 50 ml bottle. We don't care how many milliliters is in that bottle. What we want is this C word right here, the concentration. So in any of these problems, unless it's asking you how many bottles would you use or how many vials, you would use the concentration. OK, it doesn't matter how many milliliters are in there. So yes, the product is 125 milligrams per milliliter. And so yeah, that the concentration is going to be the weight. So the grams, milligrams, micrograms, unit, milli equivalent, whatever little floaty medicine pieces are in the liquid part. Okay. Wow. Okay. Thank you. I always go straight to the available and ignore the concentration. You want the concentration. So I always say concentrate on the concentration, especially in reconstitution problems, because they'll put in all types of good fluff. How much water to add, how big the bottle is, this many grams is this. Pharmacy scent. Somebody who I was studying with, they was like, but the pharmacy scent. I was like, what are we concentrating on, right? The concentration. Boom. All right. So milliliters on the top, right? ml over 125 mg. So now we've got milligram on the bottom, so we put milligram on the top. 50 mgs per kg per day. Milligram crosses out, and then we've got kg and day on the bottom. Both of those got to go because they're not part of my goal. And you see, when you start with what you're looking for, you already got that top part. So the rest of it, you're going to cross out, and you know that you're just going until you get dose at the bottom. Okay. It's a puzzle. It's a puzzle. So I've got weight right here, but it's in pounds. So I'll do my conversion. 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. So then we've got 42 pounds, and it's not with anything. It's just by itself. We'll put it over 1. And last, to get rid of this day, I know that in one day there are 3 doses. So days cross out, and everything is gone except for milliliter at the top and dose at the bottom. It's coming together. Okay, that's all that matters. We got movement. We've got movement. And thank y'all for liking the live and sharing it. I appreciate it. It's cool to meet new faces and to see people who've come back making 100s on their tests and everything. I'm so excited for y'all. And just know that you've got support. It's myself and other creators that come on here who totally pour into the nursing students, and we want y'all to win. All right. So boom. I got 5.6. Is that what you all get? Hold on. Wait a minute. I don't think I put the rest in. Hold on. Don't eat me. Don't eat me alive. 50 times 42 divided by 125 divided by 2.2 divided by 3. Sorry. 2.5454545. All right. You okay? And see, that's the thing. If you get something, stand by it. A lot of people are like, well, that was too big or too little. Stand by it. So we're rounding to the tenths place, right? So if we're right here, that's the tenths. We'll go over to the 100ths place, the hundredths, right? With the TH on there. And it's 4 or below, so it's a no-go. So our answer is 2.5 milliliters per dose. Can you explain the 1 kilogram slash 2.2 pounds? So this right here is a conversion. So that's how many 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. Okay. So we had our patient's weight and it was in pounds. If it was in kilograms, your kilograms would have just been able to be thrown up to the top and your kgs on the top would have crossed out with your kgs on the bottom. But because we have pounds, we have to put that conversion in because you can't put pounds on top of kilograms. Our units of measure must match. What's on the top and what's on the bottom have to be the same. Just like if you had milligrams or you had micrograms, you can't put a microgram on top of a milligram because they're separated by the factor of 1,000. 1 milligram is 1,000 micrograms. So that means one big old milligram cookie it comes together from 1,000 microgram crumbs. Okay. So you can't cross those out. So therefore you have to make sure that your units are crossing out. So the best advice that I can give to you when using this type of method to solve dosage calculations is to write your units by your numbers. I know it's a little extra ATP that you burning, but it helps because that's where the units, the juice is. That's how you know what to put next. That's how you know what crosses out. That's how you know what the goal is. If you don't write your units, you're just writing numbers, you're going to get lost in the sauce. Write goal. What is it looking for? Tablets, milliliter, dose, milliliter per hour, whatever. Write it on top of your paper. Pull out your information that you use, your puzzle pieces, as I call them. You can put it on the side on your scratch paper. Ain't nobody going to get mad at you because all this stuff can get a little confusing. And if you're looking back inside of the problem, trying to set it up, you can get lost, especially if you pay attention to the fluff. So, I just give y'all these little hints and tips and tricks, try to help you out along the way. If you like it, cool. Boom. If you don't, all right. My feelings not hurt. All right. So thank you. So when you see pounds, we should convert to kilograms when the question is saying kg/day. Exactly. And they ask for kg. So yeah, I always have to do that first, which was 19 kgs. And yeah, I don't like converting equation because because sometimes you do division by 2.2, right? And you have a lot of decimals at the end. Where do you cut it off at? Because if you don't put all those numbers in there and you cut it off, it's gonna influence or change the end product, right? And if you don't put it in ATI or HESI or whatever your professor is looking for, you've changed your answer inadvertently. We know the difference that a zero can make when it's there or not there. So we know that there's a difference that can be made with a decimal, a number behind the decimal is there or not there. So that's why I say that's an extra step. So you're changing the problem. You don't know when to round. And what if you round? Are you rounding? Or are you going to keep it the same? So at the end of the day, if you just put your conversions, you know what your conversions are. You know what the original element from the question is. So all you have to do is round at the end. So less steps you take, the less mistakes you make. All right. The provider has ordered drug G, 55 micrograms per kilogram per hour for a child weighing 18 pounds. Drug G is supplied in 25 milligrams in 500 mLs of normal saline. Calculate the infusion rate in milliliter per hour. Okay. So, what are we looking for? Milliliter on the top and hour on the bottom. So, we have 55 micrograms per kilogram per hour. We got a patient that weighs 18 pounds, and then our medicine concentration is 25 milligrams in 500 mLs of normal saline. So if I'm looking for milliliters, I'm going to start with what I'm looking for. Same way I've been doing my problems all night. Start with what I'm looking for, putting it first, putting it on the top. So 500 ml over 25 mg. So next, I have a puzzle piece that has micrograms in it. I can't put a microgram on top of a milligram, right? So therefore, I'm going to have to put in a conversion. So I know that I need milligrams at the top to cross that with my milligrams on the bottom. So then I'll put my micrograms on the bottom. I know that 1 milligram is 1,000 micrograms. Milligrams crosses out, and now I've got micrograms on the bottom. So I can put this 55 micrograms per kilogram / hour. Micrograms crosses out. My patient's weight is in pounds, so I need my conversion. 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. And you see how I'm slashing out my units as I go along and I'm paying attention. I already know this is what I got, so I'm trying to work my way to hours. So now I've got pounds, right? So I can put my 18 pounds over 1. Pounds crosses out, and I've got hours already, and that's it. So I'm going to do my calculator trick, and I'm going to put in all of my numbers across the top, multiply, then hit divide and put in all my numbers across the bottom, hitting divide in between those and pressing my equal sign one time. 500 times 55 times 18 divided by, see, look at all those zeros. What if you didn't enter in all those zeros back? So divide 25, divide 1,000, and divide by 2.2. I got 9 milliliters per hour. And don't be scared when you have these types of problems and you get like a big number and then you start putting it in. You see that it'll come back down. And just keep on doing the calculations, right? How long am I on for? I usually try to do about 10, 15 problems. So just, we just work through it. Yep. And thank you for the follows and the likes. We got 4.4K likes on here. Can we get it to 10? Can we get a 10? Can we get a 10? All right, drug V is ordered to be given 15 milligrams per kilogram per day to be delivered in equally divided doses every 6 hours. The child's weight is 35 pounds. How many milligrams per dose would the nurse deliver? So we are looking for what? Milligram per dose, right? And we're going to round to the 10th. So I have 15 milligrams per kilogram / day. And the patient weighs 35 pounds. And I also know that it's to be given equally divided doses every 6 hours. So if we do 24 divided by 6, that would give us 1 day has 4 doses in it. Y'all seeing what we're picking up? Are you getting what I'm dropping? So use your goal to help you decipher through this, because a lot of people get intimidated by the words and all the numbers and stuff. Use this. So we're looking for milligrams and dose, and you've got milligram per kilogram per day. You know that you're going to need a dose somewhere, right? All right, so let's set it up. If I'm looking for milligrams, I'll start with what I'm looking for. Same way every single time. Every single time. And that's how you get better. That's how you get faster. You do these problems. You do practice problems. You see different wording and you set it up every single time the same way. And you get better at it. I tell you, it's addicting. It really is. Like, you start crossing out stuff and slashing and canceling, and yeah. All right, so I'm going to get rid of my kgs, and I'm going to put my patient's weight, which is 35 pounds, little shooka wooka booker, little sweet baby. I couldn't be a peds nurse because I wouldn't get any work done. I would just want to love on those babies all day. Yeah. So shout out to all the pediatric nurses. And you see how we just put all of our puzzle pieces together. Everything that was on the bottom crosses out with what's on the top. Is it coming together, y'all? Is it coming together? 15 times 35 divided by 2.2 divided by 4. I've got 59.65. So it says to round to the 10th, right? So if we go to the 10th, we go one space to the right. That's 5 or more. Raise that score. 59.7. Sorry. You're like, wait a minute. Milligrams per dose. Why did you put 2.2? Sorry, that's a L. 2.2 pounds. So 1 kilogram equals 2.2 pounds of body weight. So I put that in there because our patient's weight is in pounds. Our order requires kgs. Sorry, I didn't pay attention to the round. Don't apologize to me. Apologize to that second attempt. Y'all gotta pay attention to the goal, what it's asking you for, and to the instructions. Because I hate to see it, but I've heard so many stories. Where did you get 1 day for 4 doses? All right, so let me get rid of some of this right here. So look, this was the ordered amount. We got to get 15 milligrams per kilogram, and that is the amount for the whole day. We are asked to find milligrams for 1 dose. We can't give this all in 1 dose because it's in equally divided doses every 6 hours. So every 6 hours comes along and you would give a dose. So if you have 24 hours in a day, you divide 24 by 6, you would get 4 doses in 1 day. Why do you do days and hours added to the equation, Jacob? Because that's how some stuff is ordered. I mean, I'm trying to figure out. Not trying to be smart. I'm just trying to figure out, like, how else that could be interpreted. Because some questions have days and some questions have doses. And then some have frequencies. So it's just how it comes ordered. I'm not the doctor. I'm just the nurse trying to figure out some dosage. Yeah. All right. So a child has an order for drug X, 35 milligrams IV twice a day for an infection. Okay, the drug reference indicates that a safe single dose is 2 to 2.5 milligrams per kilogram per day in 2 divided doses. The child weighs 40 pounds. Is this a safe dose to administer? So remember how we said milligrams per day? This is asking for milligram per dose. Okay, dose. So we know we are going to be looking for how many. And I see y'all double tapping. Come on, I appreciate it. What Kevin say? If you ain't double tapping, you napping. Wake up. I start school tomorrow. Peds dosage tomorrow as well. Okay, well, you're in the right spot. All right. Okay. So, milligrams per dose. That's what we're going to be looking for. So remember, when we do a safe dose range, the first thing is not to touch the order and go converting weights and all of that stuff. Don't touch it. We need to find what the green zone is. All right. So we know that we give 2 to 2.5 milligrams per kilogram in the day, and you can't give it all at one time. So we know that in one day, there are 2 doses. Yay, 10K. Oh, we did get to 10K. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all supporting me as I support you through this dosage journey. Yes, I appreciate it greatly. All right, so boom. What do we have? 2 milligrams per kilogram per day. All right. So then we have our patient's weight is 40 pounds, right? So we'll do 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. And then we have 40 pounds that the patient weighs. Kgs cross out. And then in one day, we give 2 doses. Everything crosses out except for milligram per dose. Okay, so we'll do 2 times 40 divided by 2.2 divided by 2. So that's going to be 18.18. Come on, Apple Pencil, what is you doing? What are you doing? 18.18 milligrams per dose. And that's the least that you can have. The most that you could have is 2.5. So we'll do 2.5 over kg/day. Our patient's weight is in pounds, so we'll do 1 kg over 2.2 pounds. So our kilograms cross out. 40 pounds is the weight of this little baby. Well, that's a big baby. It's like a toddler, right? And then one day has 2 doses in it. Okay? Days crosses out. So now you got milligram on the top and doses on the bottom. All right, so we'll do 2.5 times 40 divided by 2.2 divided by 2. And that's going to be 22.72 milligrams per dose. All right, so let's see. Our safe zone is going to be 18.18 to 22.72. So this is the safe zone. Okay? So what's ordered? And that's milligrams for 1 dose. That's the whole day, just a dose. So this is 1 dose, right? 35 milligrams has been ordered to be given twice a day, but we are looking for 1 dose. So is 35 milligrams in the safe zone, or is it outside of the safe zone? All right, so it's outside. That means it's not safe. So what we're going to do, we're going to call a doctor like, hey, bro. No, I'm just saying. Don't say that. Don't say that. I'm just kidding. Say, hello. I'm calling from such and such unit for patient such and room such and such and such and such. And you have ordered this and it is not safe. So what other questions did y'all want me to show you tonight? Because I think that's it. They're going to be like 8 years and I'm a bruh. I know, right? Now, some residents, like when you have residents that are like younger, of course, but like those attendings, yeah, oh no. Reconstitution. Okay. What days do you do this? I do this on Sunday nights. It's right here. Hold on, my camera's flipped. Sundays and Wednesdays. And then, of course, you can look at the replays on my YouTube channel. And I've also gotten problems that are broken down individually in videos. So if you don't feel like watching the whole replay and trying to find it, and you're like, I need a weight base, and I need to see how you do it with dimensional analysis, boom, it's there. So I'm looking for a reconstitution. What's the deal with reconstitution? Like, why is it so intimidating? Is it because of all the stuff that's in there? I have a dosage calc coming up, and you've helped a little bit. Oh, well, a little bit. That's a little bit. That's something. That's movement. I'm glad I can help. All right, so let's do the screen. Bow. All right. The physician has ordered drug H, 500 milligrams IV Q12. She said no a lot. Okay, awesome. The pharmacy has supplied drug H, 1 gram powder for injection vial. Okay. The directions state reconstitute with 2.5 milliliters of normal saline for an approximate volume of 3.4 milliliters with a concentration of 300 milligrams per milliliter. How many milliliters will the nurse give to the client for 1 dose? I have my dosage exam tomorrow, and if I don't get 100, I get kicked out. Like, how is that fair? Jacob, nursing school is not fair at all, my guy. Like, I got some stories for you. I just got some stories. But hopefully this live has helped you, and if it has, y'all know what to do. But anywho, back to the case at hand. Reconstitution problems mean you take a powder and you add a liquid to it, and you're making it a liquid so that you can give it to your patient. Okay, so that's first thing. Second thing, this has a lot of fluff in it. So the third thing I want you to do is to concentrate on the concentration. I don't care how much grams is in the bottle, how much bacteriostatic water or normal saline you're going to add. I don't care how much it has a total volume of. If the next word it says with a concentration of, that is what you use. How many milligrams per milliliter? How many units per milliliter? Milliequivalents per milliliter? Grams per liter? How many floating medicine pieces are in the volume? Okay? That is what you use. None of that other stuff is going to matter. That is fluff. So we want the drug concentration. That's it. So on this question, it's asking us to find milliliter for 1 dose. So we're going to put milliliter at the top and dose at the bottom. Okay. So then what's ordered? So 500 milligrams is 1 dose, right? Because that's part of your order. They give you how many, the strength for 1 dose, the route, and the frequency. So 500 milligrams per dose. And then this is fluff. This is fluff. This is fluff. This is the concentration. This is what we want to use, okay? So if you get one of these problems and you choose something other than the concentration, that's on you, buddy. All right, so that's all we need. So if I'm looking for milliliters, I'm going to start with a puzzle piece that has milliliters in it and flip it. So ml over 300 milligrams. Then I've got milligrams at the bottom, so I need milligrams at the top, right here. 500 milligrams over dose, and your milligrams cross out, and now you have how many milliliters per dose. And that's it. So 500 divided by 300, 500 divided by 300 is going to be 1.6 repeating. So if we were to round this to the nearest tenth place, our answer would be 1.7 milliliters per dose. Boomy said, I've been watching you all summer. I'm so ready for this dosage exam on the first day of class. Hey, you must report back. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Yay. So does that kind of make it clear about reconstitution problems? You concentrate on the concentration. So always, yes. And the order. How much is ordered? Well, what's your goal? The first thing that you're going to do is find what it's asking you to find, right? That's your goal. Then you got your order, and now you need your concentration, and that's it. I have to go back and watch all of your videos. Yes, and like them and share them. Thank you. I don't like, here like the video, share it. I don't know. But I appreciate all of your support as I support you guys in dosage calculations. I really do. Thank you for the gifts. I thank you for the lives, the likes, the shares, all of that. I appreciate it. I haven't even started school yet, but I know I'm going to learn this, so I'm getting it out the way. Exactly. It's going to be there. You are so dope. Literally taught me DA in 2 questions. I'm grateful. I think that's a record, Punky Naturals. I'm glad I can help. Whenever it asks per day, we worry about the frequency. And if it asks per dose, we don't. Okay, so Brittany, that is kind of a dangerous generalization. So if you have your dose, so your ordered dose, right? You know that's 1 dose. If it doesn't indicate per minute, per hour, per day, that is how much you would give in 1 dose. Your frequency you're going to use if it has your full amount for that day that's in the order, or if you have an ordered dose and it's asking you for however much you give in a day. So you have to go by your goal. So I don't want to say these are the rules because it changes with what the question gives and what it asks you. But usually your frequency is associated with a day because frequency is how often you give 1 dose in a day. Somebody asked me for a problem earlier, and I said after I did the Peds session that I would do it. And if you're still on here, would you please put it in the chat? I know they usually say round to the tenths, 100. Wait a minute, it's going too fast. Tenths, hundreds, tens, whatever. But for drops per minute, is that the whole number? Usually, Lexi. Now, I have seen in circumstances they don't want you to round, but you can't divide a drop. It's either 1 drop or not. So you usually round your drops per minute problems to the whole number. I haven't started school yet. No, I'm not learning. Okay, I always go back and watch the videos. I keep a notebook with all the problems you do. Okay, you got a record. Don't be keeping up when I mess up either. Because y'all like to say, wait a minute. I'm like, I'm sorry. Can we do where we have to have min and max safe dose amount? Saroon. This was the focus for tonight. So after we get done studying, you can look at it on the replay because I did several of those. Or multiple of those. It's not several. What counts as several? I don't know. Let's see, is there any other subject that you are good at? I'm dying in school. Well, don't die because we need you to live. I shall live and not die, okay? I don't do any other breakdown or tutoring of other subjects because dosage is my baby and I like it. So there are other creators on here that you can follow. Nurse Kevin, the boot nurse, he and Nurse Amber, Nurse Glamber, they break down NCLEX style strategy, nursing questions. They go over questions Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5:30 Central Time. So boot nurse Kevin and Nurse Glamber, and sometimes they tag team. And I know they've had a free workshop this weekend. I know it might say NCLEX strategist, but you have to study for the NCLEX starting like in school, like when you first start. Like that's the goal because you graduate, but then you got to take the nursing license exam to work, right? And that's what we want to do. makes dollars make sense, right? So they're gonna help you with the questions and finding what parts make sense, the rationales. So that might be good to that would be good to do, to consult with other creators like those two. Saunders NCLEX review book. I have it linked into my Amazon storefront on my bio. That's what helped me in school. So these questions are different. You can know all the content like days long, but unless you know how to apply it and critically think and answer the question, that's where you get the points from to pass the test, right? So that Saunders book or Lippincott, both of them, they have two different styles to them. I had both because I just was like, okay, I need to see all of the questions. So if you get that book, it's going to be like the bare bones, right? Because it's a review. But if you go through it as you're going through your different units in school and highlight the stuff that's in there, go over and look at what's like alert, what's important, what's different, right? And then you do the questions at the end. And the rationales are what's going to help you take what is applied or what you learn and how to apply it to those questions and why that answer is that answer, because that's the difference that is between like biology and chemistry. You know, if you have this and this, like you can't take this and make it this, but you got a human, right? You got a person. So we got to prioritize. We've got to see what is going to save a life or a limb. We got to see what we're going to do first. What is abnormal? What's normal? What are we going to do, right? So it's different. So that book helped greatly with answering questions and increasing my scores. I'm sorry, I got on a tangent. My bad. How do we calculate when the question asks twice a day or 12 hours, Tabitha? So if it says, okay, it depends on what it's asking you for. So if it has twice a day or 12 hours and it's asking you for one dose, if it's given the whole amount of the dosage in the order and it tells you 12 hours or twice a day, you take 24 hours, because 24 hours is in a day, and divide it by 12. So that'll give you 2 doses. So that's how you would do that. And twice a day is every 12 hours. So just like that's BID, so twice a day. TID is every 8 hours because that's 3. And then QID will be every 6 hours because that's 4 times a day. I hope that kind of clears it up. Yes, Kevin is amazing. He is awesome. I just came on here. Did you round to 1.6? No, Jayla. It was 1.6 repeating. So I rounded it to the nearest tenth place. So that was going to be 1.7. Okay, I do both. What's the second book? Lippincott. So both of them are linked in my Amazon storefront. And so a lot of people say, well, how can I get started with school, ready for school, this and that and the third? And you've got people who are excited, ask them for a Lippincott, ask them for a Saunders, ask them for some compression hose, like Walmart gift card, gas card. You about to be in school, stuff is a little shaky during then, you know. But I would definitely, because they got a PN edition and they got an RN edition. So you know that a PN scope is different than an RN scope. I was both, so I know. So get the PN book if you're in the PN, RN if you're in the RN, and then look at the rationales and answer the questions. Somebody asked me about another type of question. Was it like a minute per hour or something? I don't know. 3rd semester student, 4th, almost done. Thank you for the review. Awesome. I'm excited, Addie. You're almost done. We use Lippincott in my school. Okay, cool. Both of them, they're some lifesavers. What was that type of question? I don't know. So since we're done studying pediatric dose, I hope this session kind of gave you a little bit more clarity on safe dose range and how to do weight-based problems, because that's what you see a lot of with your peds population, BSA, and fluid maintenance. I'm going